here.
I've got it. It goes all the way back to the top, you know.
There you go.
It's gravity. What goes up must come down.
Ain't that
You
the
know?
truth?
Yeah. Getting old sucks. Your body falling apart sucks. I wish I was still invincible. That was awesome.
They were the days.
Yep.
They were the days.
It looks like.
Yep. Welcome, Jims.
What's up?
All right. So tonight, just straight up British Will interview. We're not doing any introductions other than his or anything outside of that. It's all about brilliant.
Introduction. Better be.
What did you say?
Better be your fancy ass introduction.
Oh, I got it. Yeah, I wrote an introduction yesterday. It's a fairly decent one. Sorry about the shots, bro.
That was all good.
Yeah, hopefully. All right. Some point I'm guessing Tanner. Well, who knows with Tanner? He jumped in earlier and he had his fucked up face on and he was at a wedding. So he had all his sudsy duds on too. So it's pretty interesting. Hopefully he jumps back in because he didn't have audio and we were able to communicate using hand signals from the movie Congo. And then Marco's supposed to be jumping in as well as Trash Man. So we'll give him just another minute or so and we'll hop in here. Hey?
Sounds like a plan.
I got it fired up either way, so we're recording right now.
Yep. All right. Fuck it. Let's do it, eh? Let's have a day. All right. Joining us now, a man, a nutter of a cunt hailing from Hogwarts Island of albino mole peoples and bad dentistry. A wizard of a wanker in the kitchen. He's a right funny git. Looking at his face, it's not hard to understand where that sense of humor originated. A charming bloke, caller of the Pat McAfee Show, caller of Barstool Sports, the one and only our pal, British Will. Hey, B.
Hello, gentlemen. How are ya?
Doing all right. How about that intro, eh?
It was all right. It was a little less offensive than I anticipated, so good on you. You behaved yourself.
Well, I did a tremendous amount of research into British slang, and I noticed that you guys pretty much have a phrase for everything.
We do. There was a decent amount in there, man.
Yep. Well, I found like 3,700 of them, and I got to admit, I probably only read 150.
Yeah,
but there were some good ones.
I'm kind of impressed with your self-control to hold yourself back.
Yeah, well, you got to do what you've got to do, you know?
Absolutely.
My favorite one is cheese-eating surrender monkeys. And this is this is in reference to the French, of course.
Those fuckers, yeah, of course.
So that was just so far up on my list. Whenever I read that, I was like, well, there's really no reason to go on. But there's one that really made me crack up. It was Gorm something. Gormless? Is that
Gormless.
Right?
Yeah, you guys never heard of that? No?
No. But as soon as I saw the name Gorm, it definitely caught my attention. What is Gormless?
Gormless. It's like kind of just not all with it. Do you know what I mean? Like you're a bit gormless. You're a little bit vulnerable, a little bit ditzy. You know, not quite all there. Yeah, kind of almost like gullible as well. You know.
Okay. Piffy on a rock bun.
Oh my God! You found one that I don't know what it is.
It's being ignored.
Interesting. That's definitely one way to put it, mate. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I didn't know how common these are, but there were some humdingers in here, which humdinger was actually not on the list. That's an American one.
You can keep that one.
Yeah, well, we do what we can here in the States. Hey, speaking of America, England, tell the world about you. Where are you from? How did you get here? How's British Will's story?
Well, I'm from Derby in England, central England. Bit of a shithole. And I first started coming over here about 10 years ago. I started coaching at summer camps and stuff. So all that shit you see on the movies of like kids going to summer camps and that, I did that. I looked after the kids, and then met my
Wait, you were a
wife.
camp counselor?
I was.
Well,
I-
were you like the churchy type camps, or were they the fun type camps, or YMCA? I mean, there's a lot of variations there.
It was the fun ones. I worked for.
Of course it was.
It was all fun to me because it just hit every American stereotype, you know. So
Yes.
yeah, it was
Did you
great.
have different weeks, like Fat Kid Week, Yoga Week, Single Mom Week, stuff like that?
It wasn't that interesting. The single mum week would have been a good time, wouldn't it?
You shoot for the stars, mate. Maybe you hit the moon, you know?
Right? Yeah, we had like just Disney Week and Pirate Week and all that boring bollocks. But yeah, it was all right. So yeah,
Did you have go-karts? I got to ask. As
Yeah.
that Fat Kid movie, I got to ask.
I crashed one.
That a boy.
I crashed a golf cart. Yeah, I crashed it right into the side of a building. Yeah, that was that basically for the next 4 weeks I didn't earn any money because I had to pay for the repair.
Was it worth it?
Yeah, of course it was. It was great.
Attaboy. All right, so you're 20-something at this point?
I'm 28 at this point, mate. Yeah.
Okay. 28, living the best life ever as a summer camp counselor, basically.
Oh, at the point of at summer camp or how old am I now? Oh,
Yeah.
I was 18, mate, fresh off starting college and had the world in front of me. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, it was a hell of a time, you know, kind of just being let loose in America for the first time and trying to live every American dream. So yeah.
So you came over, I presume, on a work visa, and then?
Yeah, on a work visa, and then I met my wife there. She worked there. She wasn't a counselor. She wasn't a camper. That would have been a bit awkward, wouldn't it? There would have been some news stories about that. But yeah, she worked there, and then after a few years, we started dating. And long story short, she didn't want to move to England, so I moved to the good US of A, and we got married, and it went from there.
I presume immigration was a complete and total nightmare.
Oh, mate, it was an absolute cluster, yeah. It wasn't the best time in my life. Cost a hell of a lot of money.
Oh, of course. If you put the U.S. government in charge of sand, there would be a shortage in the Sahara Desert in 2 weeks. That's just how it works.
I believe that. Not that I'm saying anything bad against the American government.
Well, if you're fully an American, it's your right. You should. You know, anyway, but let's keep that moving. All right. So you're fully immigrated. You're an entrepreneur.
Somewhat. I found a good business and bought into it. It was the lazy man's route, but it still happened.
Hey, bought and then built. You know, you let someone else do the heavy lifting. There's nothing wrong with that.
I let them do the research and the hard work, yeah, and I jumped in on the bandwagon when it was good. So, yeah.
All right. So tell us all about this: the restaurants, the food trucks.
Yeah. So I bought into a company. Not going to name any names for free ads because I'm no longer with them, but. I'm not giving them any free pub, but
so called the assholes you used to work for.
Yeah, we can go with that. Yeah,
we all know that place.
Yeah, they started off with 2 food trucks, and I came in and we expanded the business to restaurant, and they're actually going for restaurant number 2. So it went really good. Excuse me, got to wet my palate a little bit. So yeah, they started. Doing food and everything, cooking up a storm, and one thing led to another, and yeah, it just kept building and building, and it was a lot of hard work, but a lot of rewards, you know. So just basically lived the American dream. It was fantastic.
A lot of people should know this, that you're an aspiring stand-up comedian.
Yes.
Are you starting to dabble a little bit more in that since the last time we talked?
I'm gonna be. It's just fine. You know how life goes. It's busy. Just gonna find the time to do some open mics and stuff, but still writing stuff and different ideas every day, like every scenario, and just day-to-day life. You observe it and you can find the funny things, you know. So yeah, planning on putting it on stage at some point soon.
So do you have an insane notepad going, or does it look like one of those memes from Always Sunny in Philadelphia somewhere in your house where you have little pieces of paper and string and all kinds of crazy yarn diagrams going on, sweat towels laying about next to you? What do you call the chewing tobacco in England?
They don't have it.
Okay,
It's
so there's no slang term?
No, it's illegal to sell it over there.
Can I give you one?
Sure.
Up here in the Great White North, the Yoopers, which is the folks of the Upper Peninsula. If you don't know what the Upper Peninsula and a Yooper is, think Canadians meet West Virginia rednecks and put them together, and that's literally what a Yooper is. Everyone says, "Oh, they're so nice and they're this and that." Folks, do not be deceived. Yooper country is wild as fuck, and we call it the lipper.
The lipper. All right, I've heard plenty of stuff. Yeah, like obviously dip,
Chaw,
chaw,
chew, yeah.
yeah, a hog's leg.
Yeah.
If you put a
Well,
big one
hog
in.
leg means joint.
Oh, really? I heard it
Yeah.
as when you just put a massive bit in and it's just like an
horseshoe.
absolute clump.
Horseshoe,
Heard that
yeah.
too. Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So yeah, there was the whole fiberglass thing, and the UK government was like, "Oh, we can't do that." Blah blah blah. So that's fair enough, I guess. Fair enough.
Yeah, whatever.
But yeah, so
So
no,
you're gonna start smuggling it back to the UK, like when you go to visit. Are you bootlegging it in, or how does that work?
I bootleg it in for myself, and then I have some friends over there that are American, so I take bundles over for them. So it gets quite interesting at customs. Why have you got 20, 40, 50 cans of dip? Oh, personal use.
I enjoy the lippers, eh?
What's that?
So nothing wrong with the good lipper, bro. Hey, Marco.
No, nothing wrong with it, mate. Nothing wrong with it.
Marco.
¿Cómo están, señores?
All right. So speaking of lippers.
Bonjour, monsieur.
So speaking of lippers, tell us about dental care in the UK, because the folks that are shown on television are generally, well, there's some stuff going on there. From what I understand, it's free, right?
It is free, yeah, but somehow everyone's faces are fucked up. So let's put it this way: so what the Americans show on TV, if English people with bad teeth, is the equivalent of what we see in England of Americans over here, and all they basically show is rednecks, right?
Right, yeah.
So
the tornado sounded
thinks,
like a freight train.
So everybody thinks all Americans are rednecks. But when they come over, they're shocked that there's actually normal people.
Wait, that's not true?
So
I think all Americans have a little redneck, and we're all familiar enough to put on an accurate redneck depiction. I'll give that to us. There's a few out there that are questionable. That may be loyalists.
Everyone's Joe Dirt. Everybody thinks it's just like
what a world
like
that would be.
Hundreds of million Joe Dirts.
That would be awesome. Imagine you ordering an American driver on Uber in England, and Joe Dirt pulls up in a jacked up 4x4 truck and yells, "Hell yeah, brother," in response to everything you say. I want that option on my phone. I want to live in that world.
I think that should be reality. That should be the way we live our lives.
Yep.
I think there should be a Joe Dirt series. That's what should happen.
You think so?
I think that would be phenomenal.
So there's this. All right, I grew up. A lot of people don't know this. I grew up in Mexico. That's kind of a joke, but it's kind of not. I grew up in the meth capital of the world, and there's 3 trailer parks in the little town that I grew up with. One's a bigger, more established trailer park. That's where all the serious crimes go down. The other one's more retiree oriented, and that's where all the thefts go down. But there's a third one, and it's a little bitty trailer park, and we call it the Trailer Patch. And that place is basically the trailer park boys on meth. No other way to describe it. And that place sounds exactly what you were just thinking of, where with Joe Dirt series would be filmed. It's like if you took there's no better place on earth, in my opinion. I bet you could buy the whole thing for $20,000 or $30,000. No joke.
Hey, that's my next business venture. Let's do it.
That's it. Let's go. So are you going to get back in the stand-up game?
Yeah, it's gonna happen. Like I said, with with my writing and stuff, I have notebooks, and then I have like a bunch of shit on my phone, and then I'll just randomly find stuff on a sticky notepad on a table or in a drawer, and I've forgotten about it. Woke up in the middle of the night and written something down. So there's definitely a lot of material there. It's just putting it into practice and finding the time to go to some places for sure. So I
I
think
had
the
a brilliant
last time I actively didn't. Sorry, go on.
I had a brilliant moment earlier that I had to run downstairs as fast as I could and find my notepad and write it down. Did you know that the word bar is actually short for barn? Barn is a place that since the dawn of mankind that man has hid from his wife and drank beer with his friends. Just throwing that out there.
If that's true, that's unbelievable.
Well, I was standing at my kitchen sink and I can see the dairy barn across the barnyard, right? And my wife was saying something, and all I could think of was I really like to be out there drinking a beer. And then I thought, well, maybe I'll go down to the bar. And then I looked at the barn again, and I was like, bar is short for barn. I know it. And then of course, the light bulb goes off, and that's how comedic genius is born, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's all stuff we see, and we just put a little spin on it.
There we go. Hey, I hope you get back into the stand-up game. You're one of my favorite non-comedian comedians, and I'm dying to hear what you got to say. Speaking of all kinds of awesome shit, I heard that you're a hockey fan.
I am, yeah, big hockey fan. Yeah,
How's the playoffs treating you?
pretty good, pretty good. I mean, I shouldn't be rooting for St. Louis because
How can you not?
because obviously I'm a Hawks fan, but yeah, they're playing some real good hockey right now, man. Good hockey.
They should be up
They should.
3-2 in the
They
series. I can't believe
Gotta
that
support
fucking
the
hand
heart, man.
got
pass.
dude, they got fucking shafted, didn't they?
So I grew up about 2.5 hours east of St. Louis. I'm a St. Louis Cardinals fan for life. I've been a St. Louis Blues fan since I can remember being a hockey fan. Where I grew up, they'd tell you don't go out on the ice to make you watch videos and shit, all in elementary school, because every year somebody dies falling through the ice. We don't get significant ice. So hockey was more of a street ball type thing, and I blame Mighty Ducks for that. But I was totally a Blues fan from the time Mighty Ducks came out forward. And this is the best run they've ever been on, and it's all because of Jordan Binnington, in my opinion. They changed him maybe halfway through the season or so, and everything since then has been just straight fire. He was everything that they've missed. And if you don't love the Blues, who are playing their hearts out right now, it is some of the best hockey I've ever seen, let alone from the St. Louis Blues. If you don't like the Blues, then fuck you. I'm just saying. Let the rat dance.
Dude,
you know what I'm
mate,
talking about.
It was fucking Dick Flop City yesterday on that fucking video.
Yeah,
it's fucking. Oh, you could just hear it fucking slapping against the side of his leg.
Where I'm from, we call that the salmon. So if I catch like you as a friend of mine or whatever, you're wearing shorts and you're standing with your legs apart, we'll reach our hand in and we'll hit our hand off the insides of your thigh, right? We call it the salmon. But it's also, like the salmon flopping around, right? So if you're just getting out of the shower and things are loose and limber and stretched out properly, you can make the salmon on your own pretty well. And that's basically what was going down right there as the Blues won, was the straight up salmon.
It was some kind of animal fucking flopping around in there, wasn't it?
Definitely not a python. Just saying. Nothing against him. I'm just saying pythons are an invasive species. Let's keep her moving, eh? All right. So hockey is popular in England, huh?
It is, yeah. There's plenty of teams about. Yeah, I followed or still follow Nottingham Panthers. They're the local team, champs of the country. They're pretty sweet. I've had some experiences for sure going to watch them.
By experiences, you mean you've got kicked out of a hockey stadium?
Allegedly, yeah.
Allegedly,
yeah.
Can you walk us through the alleged events?
Yeah, I guess I could. Yeah, so it was a cup game, and I've told this story a couple of times. Sometimes it changes, depends on how much detail I want to get into. But yeah, so it was a close game to start with, and everyone was getting a bit chirpy. And English crowds are a little polite, you see, so they kind of watch and they're like, "Oh, good pass," or everyone scores a goal, and they kind of just go a bit just they clap a little bit. They clap because they're polite. They're like, well. And I've obviously had a few £3 beers. You know what I mean? 2, 3, 4, maybe 10, and I'm getting a little bit leery. So I start just shouting stuff because it's a close game. And then some guy bumps someone into the glass. I'm sitting on the glass, and one of our players just gets fucking destroyed. So I'm started shouting, I'm like, you fucking prick, what the fuck are you doing? Rah, 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 rah. And then kind of leave it, and it's going up. And then we go a couple of goals up. So we're winning quite comfortably. And they start getting pissed at each other, and they're just bashing each other into the glass. And these two players are in front of me, and they're going at it. And I'm just like, guys, like I shout, I'm like, drop your fucking gloves. And the player that I support, so the Nottingham Panthers guy, kind of looks at me, shrugs his shoulders, throws his gloves off, and just starts pounding on this guy. So I'm there just bashing on the glass, fucking up, hit the fucking prick. And then next thing I knew, 2 security guards are next to me, and they're like, you need to leave. I'm like, fuck. So I just get taken out of this game, and then we win, so it's all good. But I lived up to the stereotype of a hooligan, shall we say.
Yeah, I'm surprised that the crowds are so polite with all the hooligan, brouhaha. It's almost like you're expected to be that way. I would, to be honest with you, if I go to see a game in England, I expect to see 3 or 4 fights,
Right.
minimum.
Just in the crowd.
Yeah, I want you guys to make like Boston look like a bunch of candy asses. Be like Oakland, never heard of her.
Yeah, I tried to live up to the expectation, and they just weren't liking it, I guess.
Well, kudos to you for being a trend starter. I hope that hockey hooligans become a thing in our lifetime, especially at pond hockey events. Wouldn't that be great if the trickle-down effect really worked?
I've heard those are good times, those pond hockey.
Oh, my God. They have the Pond Hockey World Championships up here. Just about every other little town hosts one every other weekend. It's pretty fun. We have a pond in our backyard, back in the woods back there, and we play pond hockey on it in the winter. It's just kind of when you have 8 months of ice, dude, you got to do something,
Yeah, you can't just stare at it, can you?
Yeah, no, it's just no good for shoveling unless you actually get out there and fall. All right. So beyond the hooliganry, what's next for you as a professional individual? Are you thinking about narrating nature films? I hear David Attenborough's getting old.
Yeah, that fucker's about to kick the can, isn't he? I
Yeah.
think I can take that over.
I'm thinking maybe you could. You should be an interpreter for Gordon Ramsay. I think that you and Sean and Gordon Ramsay should get together, and you should serve as the buffer. I'm sure Gordon's perfectly prolific in English and would probably call me the C word, which we're going to talk about in just a minute. But I think that maybe there's a niche there, bro. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I could translate for him. I would just let him shout and holler so much, and it would probably make me the happiest person alive.
I used to I've guided all over the U.S. and on whitewater rivers, right, as a whitewater guide. And there's a guy in West Virginia, can't remember his name for the life of me right now. And people pay $300-400 for a seat in his raft on the Golly River during Golly Fest, and he talks to them like they're dog shit. Gordon Ramsay, nothing on this guy. Imagine a West Virginia redneck Gordon Ramsay, right? That's exactly what this guy is. He talks to them like they're absolute just nothing, and people pay for it like you can't believe. So there's a big niche for that. I mean, Gordon Ramsay comes at you. What you gonna do? Shout back at him? They're gonna edit it out no matter what you say. You can't win, so you just got to sit there and take it, eh?
Yeah, we used to get Gordon and that redneck in a room together.
I would pay to see that, actually. I would very much be. They should do that on Rough and Rowdy.
It's only $300 a seat.
There you go.
Make some money, Marco, right?
All right. So let's talk about the C word, because you guys use that like ranch dressing, just slathering it on everything. Apparently it's not as bad of a word over there, or...
It is. I just think it's a little more commonly used, so people kind of ignore it when it kind of comes splurting out of someone's mouth. But yeah, it's it's a fun word of many, and not so fond of others. But yeah, it's a very underrated word, I reckon.
So
does it pack the same sting as like bitch here in the United States?
More. It has more of a sting. I'm trying to think of an American cuss word that would be on the same level, but I just don't think there is. Like you call someone a cunt, their hairs are gonna come up on the back of their neck, and they're gonna start firing back at you, aren't they?
So, because you're British and you're our friend, do we now have permission to use the C word?
By all means, I verbally state that you guys have full permission.
We're fucking knighted in the C word, boys.
Bloody
Here we
well,
go.
cunt.
Live life free, you cunts.
Well, we appreciate that. I really, really do. Let's talk about the British breakfast. I got issue with this as a Southern man because we do breakfast. We do breakfast goddamn well. We do breakfast well.
You do breakfast unbelievable, yeah. But
Yeah.
you got nothing on the English breakfast, mate. Nothing on it.
I think you have not tried my secret weapon. I've collected this one in Colorado. It's a little bit New Mexico. It's a lot of bit Middle America. There's some very, very Southern twangs in there. I think that it represents America on a dish, on a plate rather, and it's called the Mr. Ed. It's also known as the Colorado Grand. Basically, here's what it consists of: is you take one biscuit, split it in half. That's your base layer sitting on the plate. Next comes sausage gravy, and if you're shy with the pepper, then you should be shot. You should never be allowed to touch gravy. Minimum 1/16 of an inch coating of pepper over the top of the gravy, right? At least one time while you're making the fucking gravy, or otherwise you're a commie. That's just how it is.
Ugh.
All right, so nice peppery sausage gravy, perhaps some jalapeno in there, and then a crispy, perfect bed of hash browns over that. Over the top of this is all in layers, mind you, right? We're building is 2 eggs, any which way you want. I personally like scrambled with cheese, not that English runny, milky fucking scramble either.
Here we fucking go.
Right, nice firm scramble, but some nice airy loftiness, some cheddar, American cheddar. Over the top. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Well, you take green chili, and I'm not talking about verde. I'm talking about true green chili, right? With the pork tenderloin and the tomatillos and the tomatoes and the slow roasting, right? And the fire roasted New Mexico hatch chiles. And you put that over the whole thing.
That
and
sounds
I think
pretty delicious.
It is phenomenal. There used to be this little truck joint right next to a rafting company I worked at in Colorado in a place called Johnson's Village, right outside of Buena Vista, like right on the edge of it. And this old dude used to come into this truck joint every morning and order that for breakfast, and it caught on and it became known as Mr. Ed, and it's since spread, and it's regionally called the Colorado Grand. The little trucker joint just closed after like 100 years or whatever this year, so it's still available in the area, but that was the home to it.
You had that every morning?
Oh, no, I would actually eat it for lunch.
No, you said a guy came in.
Yeah.
He has to be dead now, right?
Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure he died at like 38 of, massive heart attack.
Jesus Christ, man.
Fun fact, taco pizza was invented here in Davenport, Iowa, thanks to Happy Joe.
Of course it was.
Oh, yes, Marco. In with the hot facts.
There we go.
Love that.
When's the last time you ordered a taco pizza?
Me or Royal?
You.
Oh. I mean, they're pretty kind. Everybody does them now, obviously. But I would say it's been at least a couple months. It's not my style. I'm a sausage pepperoni kind of guy.
There we go.
Man, respect. I just sunk a Lou Mornati's deep dish.
I'm a big fan of sausage.
You what, Marco?
I said, we're about to have a deep dish conversation because I love Giordano's, but it's too much, man. It's one piece and you're full the rest of the day. I don't know. I love it.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
Dude, I mean,
but the thinner pizzas for me.
It's heavy. It's heavy. It is super heavy, dude.
Very.
But it's just the novelty of it too. Like,
yeah.
And this is the thing for me. This is something I take it for granted a lot. So I'm about an hour from Chicago, right? So it's like I take it for granted that that's literally on my doorstep now, and I can go and get your deep dish pizza. I can go watch the Cubs at Wrigley. I can go see the Bears and X, Y, and Z, right? And that's just common practice for me. Like if I decide there's a game tomorrow and I want to go, I book a ticket and I go, right? But when I go back to England and people are like, "Oh, you live in Chicago," like it seems like it's the craziest thing, right? And something that I learned is like I've had friends where they will literally save up for years, even a decade, right, to come and spend 2 weeks in America. Yeah, like that's literally like a bucket
Just to be
list thing.
fat like us.
Exactly. I'm there. I've got there. But yeah, it's just crazy to me. Like something we or I would take for granted, and then it's something that someone does like halfway around the world will save up, and it's like their highlight. You know what I mean? Like it's just bizarre to me. Like they will come here and like deep dish pizza will be on the top of their list to go and do. It's just
Wow. Thank
crazy
you,
stuff.
Food Network.
Yeah,
I like to
they've
get pizza when I go to Chicago. I mean, I'm only 2.5 hours away, so I've been to Giordano's a couple of times, or any good food joint. I'm a big fan of
You know my
like a old cafe kind of breakfast place. That's my kind of gig,
dude, they're the best, man.
like a
They're the
diner.
best.
Yeah.
They're the best.
You goddamn right, they're the best. I'm a huge fan of breakfast. Anytime, day or night, doesn't matter. That is hands down my favorite stuff to go on a menu.
2 a.m. when you're drunk as shit is the best time of all time.
It's 2
Hell yeah,
a.m.,
dude.
6 a.m., 11 a.m., 2 p.m. I'm like a hobbit when it comes to breakfast, you know?
Yeah, the best English breakfast is a place called Regent Cafe in London on Regent Street. And it's been in movies and all that type of stuff, but it's old school. There's some old school London guy runs it. He's like 65 years old. He only takes cash, no check, no card, no nothing, pure
Attaboy.
cash. And you can get full English breakfast for like £3. You get like 2 sausages, 2 bacon, beans, tomatoes, mushrooms, hash brown, toast, and it's fuck me, it's unreal. But like three quid. It's just like you have your Americana stuff. Like that's the equivalent. Like that's just the typical English thing you can get. It's fucking fantastic.
Here we go. I love starting the day out with 2 eggs and toast, minimum, absolute minimum.
Hell yeah, most important meal of the day, right?
Yep. All right. So what I'm proposing here is maybe some point you and I get together, and I would like to do a cook-off. My breakfast versus your breakfast, right? And for the stakes on my end, if we win, I would like to do a watch party. You and I sit down, we watch a movie, we record the whole thing. And the movie I've chosen is a Mel Gibson documentary called The Patriot.
You're gonna make me sit through that shit? God damn it!
Well, I'm just thinking as an American, you should perhaps entertain the history, or we can watch Braveheart. I think there's some common ground there.
I'll pick the Patriot.
All right, it's a better scene.
I probably deserve that brutality. You know, I mean, that was a rough time for us English folk.
It's just saying. It'd be
Oh,
fun
spot
times.
tea.
Spot of tea, mate. Spot of tea.
All right. So, speaking of spotted
By the way,
teas
you
and
wouldn't win
breakfast.
anyway. You wouldn't win anyway. I'm just letting you know.
Oh,
So I wouldn't have to endure watching the Patriot with you.
so little known fact is, while you were doing your jolly good times at summer camp, I was off trouncing through the wilds of North America as an adventure sports guide, and I've been perfecting biscuits and gravy since I was probably about 14. It was my father's passion, and I picked up that torch from a young age. And I have strong cooking roots. I could cook. I could easily went to chef school, in my opinion. Being a farmer, a lot of the organic ag that I do in the mushroom farming is because I couldn't get the ingredients that I wanted here locally, so I just fucking grew 'em. And taught myself how to
Fair
do all
play.
that as well. Right, raise my own meat, etc. It's because I want the select cuts of meat and things like that. So I want it my way. So I love to cook. I don't know that I would win or not, but I damn sure welcome the opportunity for good competition in the spirit of fun. Best case scenario, we both eat a great breakfast. One of us has to watch a shitty movie. Worst case scenario, we both eat a great breakfast.
I want to be the judge.
Yeah, I bet you do. This message is fat
I
kid
bet
approved,
you
huh?
do, Marco.
Yep,
I'll
I'm sure
bring the
We
Tyler's.
got this. We got the approval right there.
Yeah. Fat kid approval is everything.
Best kind of approval, if you ask me.
That's what we're gonna call the food videos from here on out. Is this message is fat kid approved? All right. So, what's your last meal? Speaking of them, if you're going to the row and you get to eat whatever, I asked you about this last time we talked, and I'm curious if you thought about it or.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would just go a steak, man. I just don't think you can go wrong with it.
Steak and eggs or steak
I mean,
and...
fuck it. It's the last meal. Might as well throw some eggs on there, and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, steak and eggs that's the barnyard breakfast. A couple of tomatoes, steak and eggs, some toast.
Yeah,
It's a good time.
I would go a nice T-bone or a big cowboy steak, medium rare. Some sautéed mushrooms, onions,
Crumpets.
crumpets. Yeah, fuck it. Throw that on there as well, Marco. You
I didn't do
racist
that
bastard.
one. That was
Yeah,
one of
Marco.
me.
Oh, who said crumpets?
Jim,
Oh, was
That
it?
was
I thought
Jim.
that was Marco. My bad. You racist fuck jam.
perhaps some Marmie.
Oh, Marmite. Yeah, throw some Marmite on there too. I'll just have a bundle of random shit, but a steak would have to be the center point for sure.
I got you. I think I've thought long and hard about this. I'm pretty sure it'd be chicken and waffles. But that breakfast I just
Solid.
mentioned would be
Solid.
right there with it, So yeah, but I mean everything has to be, all the elements have to be precise in the chicken and waffles. But I'm a huge fan of like the cinnamon bun waffles for the chicken and waffle lately. So density is everything, I think, in a waffle.
If
And
it was-
the crunch.
Yeah, if it was a fast food place, I'll probably go Zaxby's or Bojangles. They're chicken and biscuits.
Oh yeah, chicken and biscuits one
Dude.
thing, but I'm talking chicken and waffles.
I
You
get
know?
that. I get that. Waffles.
Yeah,
are
some
not
fried
too shabby.
okra, some sweet tea, a little bit of diabetes, a little bit of cholesterol, heart attack, standard issue redneckery.
Sounds perfect. Good way to go out.
I
That-
think
that
so.
might-
On a sugar
that might-
buzz,
That might kill me before the fucking chair,
God willing, eh?
right?
All right. So when you pony up to the bar at the local watering hole or the pub, if you will, what are you ordering? What's your go-to?
Oh, Crown and ginger, mate. Straight away.
There you go.
Crown and ginger, and then if I need to do a pint, probably a pint of IPA. To be fair with you.
Real hoppy or extra hoppy or dry hop? I mean, do you just
Kind
Hip
of
hop.
hip hop, full on hip hop. Yeah.
hip hop anonymous?
I kind of go middle ground, and I'll take a little bit of zest in there if I have to pick.
So do you dabble in American style pale ales?
I do. I absolutely do. Yeah, absolutely.
There's
I
no
just-
shame in admitting they're better,
I wouldn't go that far, but I'll admit I enjoy them.
Yeah, you don't have to discriminate against beers. They're better than that, eh?
Yeah, I can't remember. It was from the Half Acre Brewery. I had a couple of those tonight. They were decent. They're based out of Chicago. I would highly recommend those.
Give them a whirl. I live in this place where one side of the river is Michigan and the other side is Wisconsin, and you would not believe the incredibly great selection of beer that I can get here locally.
Oh, with those two states, I bet you have a great deal of selection. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm tremendously lucky microbrewery wise. I'm a bit of a snob, to be dead honest with you, and I love it. I've been drinking microbrews since way before everyone else jumped on. I feel like, and with all my travels, I've always blown an enormous amount of paychecks recklessly
Yeah.
on a lot of beer. When you're out for 12 days in the middle of nowhere and you come back in for 2, hotel room, whole lot of beer. And beer's proof that God loves man and wants man to be happy.
Fun fact for you. So where I'm from in Derby is the microbrew capital of the UK. So it has more microbrews per square foot than any other place in the country.
Sounds pretty wonderful, actually.
Mate, it's fucking fantastic. You could literally walk around all day and probably not hit not even half the ones that are around there. It's pretty fantastic.
Sounds spectacular. I love that. Green Bay nearby, fair clip of little breweries there, and then of course you go down in the Milwaukee region, and you can waste your life there. You know, Madison, there are breweries everywhere down that way. There's the UP is starting to bloom for breweries as well, so it's kind of a nice thing.
Another
Educate me.
fun fact
What
about
is the
Davenport,
UP?
Iowa.
Oh, go on, Marco.
Another fun fact: back in the Prohibition era,
Yes.
Prohibition era, what?
we were part of Al Capone's liquor run here in the Quad Cities. So down in our what's now called the Village area, we had more brothels per square foot than any other place in the entire country. It's called the Moonlight District. There was
Hell yeah.
42 brothels within like a 6-block radius.
That sounds like what the future should be like. That sounds fantastic.
Sounds like Vegas.
Fucking libertarian utopia in Davenport, Iowa.
No shit.
Women
Did you
just
say it was
slinging
called
that
the
body.
Poonlight,
Moonlight.
Marco? Moonlight. I
Moonlight,
thought you
yeah.
said Poonlight District.
That would be something.
So, speaking of running around in the countryside in England, have you ever found any coconuts?
See, you fucking mentioned this when we've spoken before, and I've completely forgot what this absurdity is.
Did your mother smell elderberries, or was your father a hamster?
Oh, I don't know where the fuck this is going, lads, to be
Okay.
honest.
Have you ever heard of Monty Python?
Oh, yeah, this was it. As an Englishman, I've never fucking watched Monty Python.
Jesus Christ.
It's such a fucking weird thing. I mean, I would presume that
I can
Monty
be English
Python.
anymore.
Well, no one's pulling any English cards here because that's on you. But
Another
I would
summer,
presume
right?
that it would be everywhere on TV.
You would think. I
Nothing.
was deprived as a kid, apparently.
I pretty much presume when you flip the channels in England, it's all like Downton Abbey, Monty Python, Harry Potter, Spice Girls, talk about the king or the queen or who's next, and then of course what the Scottish rebels are up to.
that one's top of my list to watch. Always entertaining.
These damn peasants don't know how good they've got it.
But yeah, never watched Monty Python. Never watched Downtown Abbey either.
I hate Downton Abbey. No offense to anyone from England, seems like a wonderful place, but basically, if I hear British accents in large numbers and watch, I can't stand British TV. Nothing against you. It's just I don't get it. It's dry. I don't have time for it. I'm ADD. I'm American. I need flashes and bangs and explosions. I grew up with MacGyver, for fuck's sake. If it slows down, it better be because you're trapped in a room. You need to take a survey of what's laying around you so you can build a bomb.
Don't
Agreed.
say that word too loud.
Just throwing that out there.
Bomb.
Oh.
We're not at an airport. It's totally cool to use the word bomb. Okay. No one said anything about the anarchist cookbook or a number of other words to flag the government's attention yet. We're totally fine. Tyler, edit point. Yep. All right. So as a jokester, did you get in trouble a lot as a kid? Were you a cheeky little fuck?
At a point, I became it. So I was pretty well behaved until I was about 15, and then I thought, fuck it, and I just went off the rails for a bit.
Attaboy.
So yeah, I was really quiet and stuff, and then I used to get bullied and shit, and then when I was 15, one guy decided to trip me up in the hallway, and something clicked, and I just beat the living shit out of him, and then it kind of just went downhill from there, really. But yeah, then I would fuck around in class and do funny voices and mock teachers and not really do too much work. So yeah, I was a cheeky little bastard. Yeah.
You do imitations?
It's more just like
not to put you on the spot, but I mean like more like accents and stuff.
Yeah, and just stupid noises and stuff in class.
Yeah,
and just
funny
being a
little
dick.
too.
So,
yeah, bloody hell, mate. Yeah.
Nice. No cartoon voices, popular characters, imitations, anything like that. Not that, I mean,
No,
it's hard to do it on.
you broke up a little bit there.
Yeah. Not to put you on the spot. I'm just
I
saying if you
lost.
can do one, I'm curious.
I don't
If
know.
you show me
Scottish.
your voice, I'll show you mine.
Oh hey. Oh. So what's that? American I can't do very well, apart from like when I do American, it's always like either deep south or like your California surfer dude who just smokes too much
I
pot.
accept your challenge.
You got to go John Wayne with that, Like,
I,
after you eat the peanuts out of my shit, Pilgrim.
God damn you there, boy.
There you go.
Get on.
That's a little, yep. You're in
Man,
the cousin fucking.
go back in those fields, boy, and pick those shrooms. That's not very good. That is not good at all.
I don't know. You got a little bit of North Carolina twang in there. You sound like you could be from the Asheville region.
And again, if you ask an English person, that's what they think every American sounds like.
Really?
Oh, it isn't?
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah. And then I always used to do Scottish, and I used to call local takeaways and take the piss. I mean, all right, there, mate. Can I get a wee little pizza with those pepperonis? All right,
So,
this is a delivery for one William Wallace. I'll
if it's
take a
not
pizza.
Scottish, just clap.
I'll take a pizza with an extra side of freedom.
That sounds like a little bit of fat bastard.
Yeah.
You fat bastard. You fat bastard.
Oh, get in my belly.
Get in my belly.
If it's not Scottish, just clap.
I do enjoy the Scottish accent. It's one of the most entertaining for me.
It's just kind of awkward.
I broke up again there. Sorry, lads.
You're breaking up with us?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Well, we
fucking done,
deserve
mate.
that. You're Scottish. We expect it from you at this point. You were bound to rebel eventually.
Yeah, we were bound to leave everyone else, right?
Yep. Couple last things here
How do
on
you
the
feel about the French?
yeah.
French. Sacre bleu. We are the fucking French. We hate everyone. No, that wasn't even French. That was like fucking Russian or something.
We'll let it slide.
Yeah, let it slide. That was not good. That was not good. Carry on.
That's it. I'm out of questions. Let's go around the room. Marco, you got anything?
I do actually. I have some ethnical questions. Being that,
dear.
I am a. Well, I mean, I was born here, but I come of Mexican heritage, and
No
our
shit.
food. Right. I noticed that when you like to cook, you like to use chorizo and
I
stuff.
do.
Is that traditional for English, or is that something you adapted here? And is English food traditionally bland, like most white people here, or do you guys have some flavor?
All right, so I'll start your question. Chorizo, I actually picked that up quite a lot here, and then what I noticed is I started using it a lot here because I feel like it can be adapted a lot and actually used in many different ways. You can have it like as a straight sausage, kind of somewhat solid, and you slice it up, and it's real nice. I really like it kind of ground. So it's almost like mincemeat. That's my favorite way to do it. Just I feel like it's way more adaptable. And you can kind of make it your own, put your own spices and herbs or like sauces, all that type of stuff. My favorite is just throwing a little bit of minced garlic in there. And the chorizo just is natural flavor, just kind of comes out. But it started getting kind of real fashionable and trendy in England. You would actually see it quite a lot of pizza places. They would thinly slice it on pizza and stuff over there. And then Mexican restaurants aren't very popular in England. So whenever you used to find one,
We haven't made our way over there yet.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's a little bit too far for you, isn't it? There's a bit of water in the way.
They're pretty good swimmers.
Oh. But over there, like, if you find a Mexican restaurant, it's a legit Mexican restaurant. And obviously they would have chorizo and stuff, but it used to be somewhat hard to come by just because it wasn't popular. I'm a lot more fashionable now. Like, I back in February, and there's at least one chorizo thing on everyone's fucking menu now. Do you know what I mean? So,
About time. I think
Yeah,
it's
it's
criminal
about time.
that you can't pick up a chorizo and potato and egg burrito at every place, everywhere for breakfast.
Amen.
dude, chorizo with breakfast is like the fucking best, man. My favorite thing is chorizo, egg, hash, like shredded hash, a bit of onion, bit of pepper, some guac and sour cream, and a burrito. Man, it is the fucking bomb.
The opposite
Oh.
of the death row thing. If I could only eat one thing for breakfast for the rest of my life, it would be stone eggs with a corn tortilla.
Do you know what, Mark? I don't think I can argue with you there, mate.
No,
'Cause
there's
it is pretty solid.
as long as Verde is included in this fucking equation, I'm
There we
all
go.
in.
Yeah.
Pico, I don't
There we
even
go.
really care. I don't Pico, Verde, it could be fucking paste
Any
picante
hot
or Taco
sauce.
Bell sauce. I don't care.
Don't care.
Right.
Yeah.
And to go back to your insulting part of your question, Marco, our food is not fucking bland. But I can see why, because you're not the first person to say that. Like, a lot of people that aren't English that go to England, they're like, the food shit, it's bland, blah 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 blah. It's just either you go to the wrong places. You know what I mean? Like, if it's a nice home cooked meal or from a good restaurant, like, it's decent. If you go in there as a tourist and you go to either
TGI
like
Fridays.
like the equivalent of that, like a chain restaurant or something, or you go to a local gas station and like you get a Scotch egg, which is a famous thing over there, yeah, it's going to be absolute fucking dog shit from there, right? But if you
So
go
like
to
here.
like, exactly. So if you go to like a good local place, it's really good. I just think some people don't branch out enough, and like some Americans that I've spoken to, they're like, oh yeah, I just had a layover in London for 5 hours, and I went to a place in the airport for an English breakfast, and it was shit. I was like,
Yeah.
it fucking was shit because you didn't get the
You
proper
got
stuff.
there for it.
So yeah, I get it, and also it's what people are used to as well, because it's like, because I've been here for so long now, yeah, I'll go back over there and I'll taste stuff, and it's for me it's different then because I'm used to everything over here. You see what I'm saying? So like, I was a big fan of English bacon. Come over here, bacon's different. Go back over there, I'm like, oh, this tastes a little funny, you know. So it's definitely what your palate's accustomed to, I think. Which,
Expand on that.
Yeah.
Why is bacon different?
It's made out of dragon.
Yeah. Freshly cut from the most tender dragons. So English bacon is more. English bacon is thicker. It's a lot of Americans, and I think I heard it. They say it's like Canadian bacon, but it's almost
ham.
like a.
It's a cured ham, like a country ham almost.
Yeah, it's cured. Yeah, cured bacon. It's almost like a mini gammon steak. You know what gammon is, right? You guys have gammon over.
The
Yeah.
fat to meat rate, fat to flesh ratio it's much less, right?
Yeah. I would. So you have the meat, and then you have the bacon rind on the outside. So that's
Right.
the fatty portion. So yeah, it's thicker, a lot saltier, but yeah, just completely different texture as well. And it's not cooked to a crisp like American bacon is either.
No bacon should be cooked to a crisp unless it's going to be crumbled up. If you fucking do it, you're a psychopath. You're terror. It's like cooking the steak. Well done.
But coming back to my
Blasphemy.
point, like if you go to breakfast to any chain place over here, your bacon's are going to be cooked to a fucking crisp. Do you know what I mean?
Yep. You
So
have to
it's
look
like
at the
if-
bottom for the soggy ones.
So, yeah, that's quite a good comparison and callback there. But yeah, bacon is a lot different.
I
Yeah,
think I
Google it.
speak for everybody when I say that your bacon sounds like shit compared to ours. Sorry, sir.
I
Whoa.
actually really like American bacon, so yeah, I'm not
See?
gonna argue with you. But the thing is, a bacon sarnie, which is bacon sandwich in England, you can't beat it. Can't beat it. Thick layer of butter on the bread, bacon, HP sauce, which is like a fruity brown sauce. Fucking delicious. Google that too.
Sounds
So, yeah.
amazing.
It is pretty
I'm-
special. But yeah. Anything
So,
else, Marco?
You know what? I did have one more question. Yeah, I don't even know where this came from, and it's not even because it
Probably-
relates to me at
Probably
all.
pulled it out of your ass, maybe.
Do English people like to dance?
Oh, mate! If you go to a rave club at 4 o'clock in the morning and snort a line of coke, everyone loves to dance.
Well, no shit. Anybody does line of coke wants to dance.
It's. I personally fucking hate dancing. The only time I dance is if I have a few beers inside of me, and I just look like a chicken. I just flail my arms up and down a bit, and that's about it. But I guess people do, yeah. And I think ballroom dancing became popular again in England. Like people actually go and
Let me
do that.
rephrase. Do they have clubs where they dance like we do
Yeah.
here, or is it
Yes.
basically just pubs?
No, they have like ravers. Yeah, they have like clubs. Yeah.
Pop culture clubs, hip hop clubs. Yeah, they're full on insane.
Yeah, they're pretty intense. Yeah, like
Ecstasy, bubble, people in cages, the whole thing.
people. There's like nightclubs. Yeah, people will purposely go out to dance. Yeah.
How do you think the Jacksonville Jaguars guys spent like fucking $50,000 in one night? You think that was at the pub?
When you've got that much money, I think you can spend that much money anywhere.
Well, I suppose, but I mean, just saying, it's easier to do in a nightclub, bottle service and whatnot.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 50 grand. That would get you a good night, I reckon.
It
Bear
better.
in mind, didn't he spend like $500 million on a fucking yacht? I read.
Yeah,
Sure. What? I mean, if you got the money, I guess. I don't know. $500 million. You right on?
Yeah, so
Gyms?
they do dance, Marco.
Jims, you got anything?
What is black pudding?
Ooh, one of the fucking seventh wonders of the world, sir. It is basically all the shit from pigs that nobody wants to eat, and they shove it in a pig intestine.
So it's a hot dog?
Essentially, no. It's do you know? Yeah, it's basically all the shit from a pig, and it get mixed up with like oats, so like oatmeal type stuff, and some seasoning and stuff. Yeah, it's shoved into it, and it's almost like a big log, and then you can slice it, and then you grill it. It's phenomenal. You'll probably have to Google for a true definition, but that's mine.
Is it like a summer sausage?
No,
It looks
it's
similar,
not
but
the
it's completely
consistency.
different.
Is it black?
Like, it is, and you can also get white pudding as well.
Ooh, the
That's
race
racist.
is on.
So, yeah, it really is black. I think I got a picture of English breakfast on my phone. I can send it to you, but
Please do.
if you Google it, it's pretty interesting. It's actually fucking disgusting what it is, but it tastes great.
Hey, I have a question for you, Will. So all these years you've been working with restaurants, etc., you work with local guys, little small farms at all?
Yeah. So purely for price point and stuff, we go through food distributors. But like our meat would always come from a local butcher. Our cheese would always come from a local cheese shop. So yeah, that's how we stayed local, if you like.
Okay, so no direct to consumer working right with the farmers, like with regards to your mushrooms or produce or anything. You're just trying to.
No.
It's all about price point, eh? Cisco trucks.
Yep, that's exactly it. It was, yeah. When it comes to where we are, and there's so much competition, it's with some stuff you just can't not go to the big distribution companies.
Right.
So we always made a point of at least a few of our products going straight to the local butcher, which had acres of farm. So it was basically the thing gets slaughtered, it gets put on their table, and then comes straight to us. So that was our little connection that we always wanted to do. Even though we got better prices on it through other distributors, it was important to us to still have that connection, you know.
The real world price and the big operations that get subsidies price are not the same thing, especially when you account that about 15% of what you're getting from the bigger operations is water that's salted. You know what I mean? So it's just it's injected. So 15% of your weight is water, salt water.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so you really, but that's what people are accustomed to. Tanner, of course, being involved in agriculture as well as we firmly believe that the future for agriculture and family farms in this world is the direct-to-consumer model. So we highly promote it wherever we can, whether that's advocating for CSAs or in this case RSA, which is community service agriculture, which is basically you and the farmer have a direct connection. It's kind of like the internet blue boxes or whatever. They kind of corrupted that idea. The idea was that you know the farmer, you know exactly where the food come from, and you as a consumer work with the seasons as well and do your best to put up whatever you can, and that promotes a more sustainable food system. Of course, in the restaurant world, you know, being seasonal requires extreme dedication, and it's not always plausible, especially in here in the northern tier in what they call a food desert. It's nearly impossible. There are some people that do it, but very few.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. It would be better if people could do that. I just think it's the ease of these big companies, unfortunately, and I just think that's the way it is. But I could be wrong. But coming from
Oh no, I agree
coming
with
from
you.
a restaurant owner and stuff, it's I don't know. For example, every Monday you put your order in, and it's all there on a Tuesday, and you get a hell of a price on it, and you can see you're making money on each thing.
Yep.
It's just tough world.
Being in mushrooms, I work with a fair share of restaurateurs, especially for wild product seasonally, but also from the farm side of things. So with our indoor production, it's a lot easier to maintain distribution. But previous to that, I was almost purely produce and diversified livestock as well. And I understand the struggle, especially from the restaurant side, and having to go through USDA approved processors, batch numbers, recall plans. It's definitely a hard road to hoe, but I have to advocate it wherever I can because we're in the worst agriculture farmers market since the Great Depression. Worst sustained agricultural markets ever. So American farms are literally dying for everybody's help right now. So if you get a new opportunity, I encourage you. If you can work with one farmer, especially a mushroom farmer, get a chance to. I encourage you to do that, eh?
Duly noted. You'll be the guy I call.
Oh, there you go. Well, you don't have to do that. You can, hook up with somebody around the corner and then just do all the really good stuff with me that way. I don't have to drive so far.
Plan.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
There we go, eh? Hey, Will, it was great talking to you, man. Do you have any questions for us?
What inspired you guys to do this? For you group of boys to get together?
Oh, well, we were sitting around kind of all going about our lives, and I pretty much just sounded off with hey, who's interested in playing podcast? And then a conversation occurred, and it was yeah, I'll get a microphone, and yeah, I'll get some jokes, and next thing you know, here we are, eh?
Yeah, well, that's awesome, boys. I appreciate you having me on. Yeah, I just really appreciate it. You guys are a great group of dudes. Keep doing what you're doing, and yeah, hopefully we'll stay in touch, huh?
I hope so, eh? And if you want to come join us any other time, you let us know. You're welcome anytime.
Will do. Cheers, lads.
Cheers.
Will do.
Will do.
Yes, Marco. Have a good one, boys.
Later, Will.
Thanks,
Later,
buddy.
Will.
Later. All right. Are we
All
staying
right,
on?
we're good. You
cut
guys
it
can
off.
do
All
whatever
right,
now.
sweet.
We're through. That was Nutter.
Thanks, lads.
All right, we might have to condense that down a little bit, but I think it was good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
we-
can cut. You can
Yeah,
cut out
well,
the
it's
bullshit. Yeah.
it is whatever. Jesus Christ, we're about an hour in. That was pretty decent.
Yeah, I'm sure you could get Den's head down.
Hey, man, thanks for doing this again. So not
Yeah,
once,
no
but
problem.
twice. 2 hours, 3 hours, 5 hours of your life, whatever.
2
it's fucking
times.
taken.
Yeah,
Two
no
time.
problem.
2-time interviewee.
At least this one counts.
Yep, you're right. You're the 2-time first time interviewee.
Yeah, first time that first time was a damn hootnet.
Yeah, it was. Too bad. I mean, we did what we could to salvage with it, but we live, we learn. I did come up with some newer stuff, so that was fun too. Sean kind of cucked me with that last meal thing. That guy that called in on Friday and was like, "What's your last meal?" And I was like, "That son of a bitch took my question from British Will."
It's all good. It's all good.
That's whatever.
All right, lads. I'm gonna have to hit the sack. I'm up early tomorrow, so
Bye, everybody.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Will.
thanks again, fellas. Cheers, bye.
And then there were a few of us. What's up, Marco?
What's up, buddy?
Marco. Hello.
Hi, Marco.
If you were ever wearing a fucking polo shirt around me, I'm never going to shut up the whole day. I'm going to point to your face. Marco! Then point to your shirt.
I'm gonna wear that for the first episode.
Marco Polo.
It's always the best when somebody's not expecting it, like if I'm at the doctor's office or something, and they're like, Marco, and I yell Polo, then it really
Polo!
fucks them up. Yeah. That's always fun to do.
Do you ever say pollo and see if they know what chicken means or not?
No, I'm gonna start.
Pollo! They're going to be like, oh, she's Mexican. Wrong kind of Marco.
Loco.
We got to get flee. Yeah. No hablo!
You know how many Mexicans I get that call me Marcos, and there's no S. There's no S.
I would antagonize him afterwards and be like, so this is how we're going to do it, okay? And just talk with a list the whole time.
Flip Puerto Rican on him. I'm that kind of Marco. Pull it out a knife
Tyler,
immediately.
Sound engineer, you're fucking Mike.
He's got a really shiny, pretty microphone somewhere. I saw it. Looked like
It's
fucking
not hooked
Elvis
up today.
Costello.
It's not hooked up today.
You got a locker set up behind you?
Yeah.
That's your background. You're in the locker room, bro.
A garage, basically.
There it is. Jibs, did you get paged out again?
No, it went off earlier, but I forgot to clear it. That was one of the other departments.
Oh.
It was right at the beginning of the interview. I was like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. I ran
It's
over
all
and
right. I've
shut
heard a
off.
page before I knew it was up.
Mm-hmm.
I was waiting for you to be like, peace, or lights and sirens. I was like, oh, come on. Lights and sirens. Let's go.
If I know I'm like one of the only ones going, I'd try to pull that off. But when there was like 8 of us going earlier, I was like, probably shouldn't do that. I was almost the last one en route, so I probably should have just did it. There's a quinceañera, or however you say it, across the road from when I was leaving the fire station. Huh?
They're close enough, bro.
Hey, thanks.
Oh,
Yeah.
Quinceañera.
Right across. Yeah, there's like a little.
Jams, you were way better than he was.
Quinceañera.
I
Quinceañera.
don't want to try it again. I'll probably fuck it up.
No,
But
you.
They were all
not.
outside when we were leaving. The kids were jacked.
No shit, that's cool.
Whenever I lived in Leadville, Colorado, they call that place Frozen Mexico. Right? No joke. Because that's where all the service workers live for like Aspen, Breckenridge, Copper Mountain, you know.
mean all the cooks?
Yeah, all the cooks, all the carpenters, all the
cooks and
roofers, all the masons, everybody, right?
All the housekeepers.
Right. And it was old school Colorado. We called it Deadville. Anyway, fuck. there was this little gym, rundown gym up the street, right? There's only a handful of places in this town to host anything. And every other fucking week every weekend there was a goddamn quinceañera there. Every weekend. It was awesome. We would get invited to it by strangers all the time.
The more you say it, the worse it sounds.
I know.
Okay, Matt, I have a question.
What?
Did you just say you lived in frozen Mexico?
Frozen Mexico, Leadville, Colorado. That's what's up. 10,200 feet in elevation, the highest town in the country. Incorporated town. Almost going, we're 8 feet taller or whatever. What the fuck ever.
And you were born in Mexico.
I was born in Mexico. Yeah, I lived in frozen Mexico too.
What is the Mexican connotation of the land you live in now?
This is heroin land. No, the UP
Is meth land and heroin land battle each other?
No. Well, I mean, Chicago's in between us. That might have something to do with it. It's like evil radiates out from that place. Nope. The place I'm at doesn't. I mean, I'm sure there's a fair amount of meth here. Don't get me wrong. They're always bust people and shit, but it's trafficked in. Heroin's a big issue up here. The next town over.
No, I think he said Mexican.
Yeah.
Oh. No, there really isn't one here.
Mexico. What's the name of the town?
Yeah, Iron Mountain, Mexican Mountain, I guess.
Iron Mexican.
Nah, there's really nothing there. It's kind of methed up, though.
You've come a long way.
Anyway, we would get to eat some bomb-ass food. Cheese and onion enchiladas, shout out anytime at the parties. Say it, Marco.
Quinceañera.
Yep, that's the one.
Quinceañera.
I can't roll my R's all sexy. Yeah. I'm not used to sucking dicks like you guys, you know? Come on.
Work on it.
Yeah.
Really not that hard.
Well, but boys, I'm gonna head to sleep. But what time we getting on tomorrow? 10.
Yeah, we're gonna shoot for 10. I got nothing. I got a list of topics. So, yep. How do you guys feel about that interview? Do we all right? Tyler, you can cut out all that local food shit at the end. I was just fishing to see. Yeah, just fucking 86, all that. I was just fishing.
There was a lot of good space in there. There was some
awkwardness.
There was some problems with. I don't know if it was just my end, but it was jumping around a little bit too.
Totally fine. Marco, I can't wait for you guys. I can't wait for you guys to hear your fucking intros. This is gonna be awesome.
Oh boy.
Let's go. Did you catch it? Marco, you weren't here for Will's, were you?
No.
Oh, you're going to like that. I think it was pretty good.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to it.
Yep.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Yep. See you guys tomorrow. Thanks for jumping on.
Yep. See ya.
Later, guys.
Good night.
All right. Later.